and thanks for joining us. I'm Judy Simpson. The Animal Science Department at UVM has gained a national reputation for providing its students with unique learning opportunities and experiences. Starting in the classroom, students' opportunities extend to laboratories, farm and field sites across Vermont, and to experiences outside Vermont. As a result, UVM students are gaining admittance to veterinary and graduate programs all over the world. And one UVM alum is a senior zookeeper at the San Diego Zoo. This picture shows alumna Lindsay King at the zoo along with animal science and extension professor Betsy Green. This afternoon, we're going to see and discuss 4 different travel classes that are offered to animal science students at UVM. Professor Green is with me along with another teacher in the Animal Science Department, Senior Lecturer Pat Erickson. Thanks so much for coming in.
Great to be here.
Thank you very much.
And so the 4 travel courses that you're going to show us offer a lot to the students, but sort of give us some of the insight as to how you're able to create these opportunities, because it's not as easy as just picking up a phone.
No, and Pat's actually been doing this for longer than I have with the travel courses, but you have to develop relationships and have collaborations that are mutually beneficial, because it takes a lot of work on both ends. And I know, Pat, you can talk about
Absolutely. It takes quite a bit of work, you know, from both our participants, the students actually have to work, but forming the relationships with the people that, the facilities that we go to is very important, obviously.
And how does that happen? I mean, is it just you know somebody, or is it that you have to spend some time getting to know them, visiting with them?
Well, in my case, I actually met somebody at a meeting and started having a discussion about the elephant course, and kept at trying to figure out how we could get both entities, you know, the 2 people agreed. We had to get the university and the Elephant Conservation Center to agree that this was a good thing worth the time, and the students are the beneficiaries of all these efforts.
Well, you've got a lot to show us, and Betsy, you're going to start with the elephants, which I just love.
Oh yeah, it was fantastic. I mean, we had the students who, well, those are the teachers. That's Sarah on the left is a 50-year-old, and Mysore is 69-year-old Asian elephants, and
wow.
And we just had a wonderful time. The students worked, they learned all about how large elephant manure is and how heavy it is, got in hands-on, got lectures from veterinarians and experts in the elephant care area. This is down in Florida at the Elephant Conservation Center, and every day the students got hands-on with the elephants. Here they're bathing, you know? And they started out by brushing and then scrubbing and then cleaning and rinsing. And this is food for the elephants every day. The cooler that's behind Jenny, one of our students, had all kinds of fresh vegetables that were high quality produce, the stuff that you'd pick out in the supermarket. And then you can see they actually go through quite a bit of hay.
How much hay does an elephant eat?
Gosh, Pat.
Oh my, too much hay.
Which is why we don't own elephants.
Yes,
That's exactly right.
Yeah, and they actually grow and cut forage for the elephants to have them have some other, you know, additional food for time and energy and also entertainment. And there's a student class posing in front of the 2 elephants right there. It was just a fantastic time for Janice was my colleague that I made the collaboration with, and she's a former clown. She was a clown at, you know, Feld in Entertainment, and because of our conversations, it turned out that we could bring 10 students down there, and they stayed in trailers outside of the area. And as you see, hands-on every day with the elephants. It was amazing.
So tell me a little bit about who these students are.
We had folks from pre-vet, we had folks from environmental science, we have people that want to be involved in everything from zoos to wildlife to being veterinarians. And so it was offered through continuing ed. It's an animal science course, but that made it so that we could have people that just showed interest apply. And there are several people that said, I don't have anything to do with that, but I want to be involved and I love elephants. But in this case, since it's 10 students limit, it was definitely a process. They had to actually write essays, because you have to protect the Elephant Conservation Center and make sure that the students are looking out for the best, get the education, but not offer a threat, because we're going into their household, in essence. So.
And so what did the facility get from having UVM students there?
One of the things, they got to show the people exactly how the elephants are handled, trained, and used and protected, and learn the history. And so there's a lot of stuff out there that's just flat out wrong, and the students had a chance to see it in reality. You know, no hidden agenda here. They could see it and make their own decisions, and that helps the facility as well.
So this is a first-time class. Will it be offered again?
Yeah, we've got it offered. We have to make sure that everything's good as far as between UVM and Feld Entertainment to make sure, but we certainly we have it up, and we're hoping that it goes again this summer.
And so let's transition into, I guess, another course that's offered by Animal Science, and this one involves a boot camp.
Yes, the Alpaca Boot Camp. And Stuart White is somebody that has been raising alpacas in Ecuador for 31 years. And so a partnership actually with another faculty member and in our department and Stuart brought this about. And we have some pictures of the students. You can see this. They went into Ecuador over Christmas. This is a holiday break course, winter break course. And so they went 10 to 12,000 feet in altitude. They were working with 600 alpacas and other related beasties, llamas and such. And they're the students there. And they got hands-on in the management care of the alpacas. They saw from the field to vaccinations to care, any kind of care and management hands-on. They actually ended up doing clipping, or shaving and such, and observing behavior. They had a lot of reading, but they also had a lot of walking. They had to hike up to altitude, and the students actually learned what altitude can do to what you think is a fit body.
Right.
But the reports back from the students were incredible. They had a blast learning, and you can see she's having a little bit of fun in the background there. They saw it go to process, and then they also saw the final products on these ladies here. And so it was just an incredible opportunity. So that's being offered for the second time this past holiday break.
And once again, the students who are interested in this particular class aren't necessarily just animal science students, or are they?
It could be anything. I don't know if you're familiar. Most of them, I think, were animal science.
Most of them were animal science students, but you don't have to be an animal science student to take any of these classes. Some of my students weren't. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be interesting from a business standpoint, too, just to see from the animals to shearing to how it's processed, how the fur is processed to then what it's made into.
And also just to have an opportunity to have a short course where you can travel abroad. So if you don't necessarily have time to do a semester away, here's an opportunity to get all in, all done, and learn a lot about alpacas, and I think perhaps a lot about themselves as well.
That's right, yeah.
Excellent. Well, Pat, you're the zoo's exotics and companion animal expert in the department.
I am.
And so you are leading a first-time horse travel class?
I actually led it the first time last summer. This came about mostly because continuing education is really interested in developing some new types of courses. I own my own horse. And so I was interested, and they said, well, if you could put this together. So I started talking to a number of different people, and I think the first slide maybe is the Equine Rehabilitation Center at SUNY Morrisville. And these are our partners, and in particular there, Dr. Erin Morgan-Paw and Michael Benderek runs the facility. Students have an amazing opportunity here. We spend part of our coursework here, and here they learn a variety of different rehabilitation techniques. Here they're learning how to actually swim. First they learn how to swim an
inanimate object.
Not going fast enough, right? They swim an inanimate object, and then they swim a horse. This is an equine treadmill. And students learn how to actually get the horse into the treadmill. There's also water in the treadmill, so they can have a variety of different pressure put on their workout. And then we travel quite a bit. We go to Saratoga Springs. We go to the track, and we go to the National Museum of Racing, where they take us behind the scenes. We also go to Vermont, back to Vermont. This is the incomparable Denny Emerson teaching at his Tamarack Hill Farm in southern Stratford, Vermont. We spent a day watching his working students in the field over a variety of different obstacles. Denny's a world-renowned eventer, Olympian. and this was quite wonderful for our students to watch this type of training.
Why is it important for the students to see this? Obviously, to even visit the equine facility where the pool is. I mean, that's got to be somewhat unusual.
Well, I think it's important for a lot of reasons. A lot of these students, some of them want to become veterinarians. Some of them also are really interested in management, training, those different things in equine world. They are limited at the university, you know, as to what we have here. We have wonderful facilities here, but it's really nice to get out and compare and do different things. So the rehab is really important. We did a variety of other things. We traveled to a number of different shows. We went to a number of different farms, and this summer we're probably going to go again. And this summer our students are going to ride under Eric Smiley, a British eventer. So it'll be great.
Now, you also have a long-standing class that's called You to the Zoo.
Yes. That's kind of a funny name, but the Rosemont Gifford Zoo in Syracuse, New York has a program called Zoo to You, in which they bring a variety of different animals out to the public. And so we thought, well, we could call our class the reverse. We spend 10 days in Syracuse, New York, and we have an incredible hands-on experience. Students get up in the morning and they go and they're zookeepers for the day. They do everything that a zookeeper would do, from care of the animals to preparing diets to overseeing veterinary visits. We have lectures during the day as well. Here we have a two-toed sloth baby, an Asian elephant, a bearded dragon, and it looks like that's a Harris hawk there. So students really get a variety of opportunity.
And so what are some of the things that the students learn about, other than just sort of the hands-on? I mean, does it occur to them that there is that huge nutrition component to it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So in both those classes, there's also classwork on the side that is anatomy, physiology, nutrition, biochemistry, pharmacology, you name it. We do a little bit of everything. So students are getting a really broad perspective.
And so are all the students interested in this? Would be the similar students who'd be interested maybe in the elephants?
Yeah, in fact, we had overlapping students. So we had some students that were doing pre-elephant work while they were at the zoo.
That's right. Running from the zoo to the elephant course, which is great fun. And the courses are really a good deal.
Yeah. Yeah, and the funny part is everybody looked at us and said, Pat, you're teaching a horse class, and Betsy, you're the horse person teaching an elephant class. But, you know, the first thing Pat said is, here's an excellent video that'll get the students started. So it was a great collaboration in a sense.
Absolutely.
And we just, you know, helped join forces to make these opportunities for our students.
And once again, talk a little bit too about the collaboration with some of these facilities that the students get to go to.
It's amazing. I mean, the facilities, and I'm sure this is true for you, they were so welcoming to our students. And they really took on the task of teaching these kids, that's it, you know, teaching our students an amazing amount of information in a really short amount of time. They taught them an incredible amount of hands-on work, and they really worked hard with them day in and day out to get them to really understand the procedures and the practices that we were trying to accomplish. I think everyone seemed to really love it. It was good.
And it helps the students. A lot of them have these goals saying, I want to be this. And when they actually see what the day-to-day job is, it may either encourage them or encourage them to look at a different opportunity.
Which is just as important.
Yeah, absolutely. Much better to find out that you don't want to do it before you take a job.
Absolutely, and this gives them the chance.
If people are interested in some of these different opportunities, what should they do?
Well, they can certainly go to our website at UVM Animal Science, asi.uvm.edu, or they can give us a call at 802-656-2070, and we can get them directed in the right area and talk to the right folks or find out where other information on the courses exist.
And these students don't necessarily have to be animal science students?
No, not at all. We'll take anyone with us.
Well, I want to thank you for joining us today. That's our program for today. I'm Judy Simpson. We'll see you again next time on Across the Fence.